Okay. Gotta do that. Yeah, pew pew. Holy fucking Christ, that's loud. Okay, so today is going to be, at least what I hope is going to be, the final part of my Black Pearl build series. So this has taken 3 parts now, and so far this is what I've gotten done. The outer hull has been completed. Sails, complete. Some of the rigging, not the actual, like I'm saying like some of the rigging is done. Not a whole lot of it though, I will admit. So I'll be like, don't be expecting miracles or nothing now. But so far, this has been turning out really good. I will say, I'm honestly quite proud of the results. And this is just kind of where we're at right now. So like yeah, so anyways, in regards to the build, this is kind of where we're at right now. And like I said, the rigging and stuff is almost done. This all right here, this is gonna be done soon. So for the moment, I'm just chilling. I still have my girlfriend on the phone, but she's asleep. Figure I'm gonna invite her over later. Figure like 12:30 I'm gonna go and call her. Sort of wake her back up. But yeah, so anyways, this is what we're looking at so far. So if you're wondering what I'm doing, I'm using these fence gates as a form of like rope, and I'm not gonna do too much rigging. As you can see, I've done stuff along this here to go and hold this front piece on, which I'm actually gonna go and I wanna actually no, that doesn't need to be cut down anymore. I was gonna say that that's fine. So yeah, I have stuff for the front little masts and the sails here. All of the sails for the masts have been complete, and as you can see, I've sort of kept the same pattern for all of them, albeit it's changed on some of them due to size and scaling and all that. But it has the same like kind of windswept pattern, where the wind is what I wanted to do is I wanted to push on this one side, specifically in this one spot for each of the sails, push in that one spot, causing the mast and the yard arm to shift like forward in this direction on the left hand side, and that's sort of what we're going for. That's what I want. So what I do want is I'm gonna have this boom 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 boom. Alright, so we're gonna have this okay. So, and if it looks like I am tired, it's because I did not sleep a single second last night. This is now day 2 of me being awake. And am I going to bed? Probably not. At a really inopportune time. Probably. I'm gonna try and stay awake as long as possible. It's just I couldn't sleep at all. I tried so hard. And it's one of those, alas, nothing came from it. So I'm gonna stay awake as long as I can. I woke up. First thing I did is I grabbed some food, showered, walked the dog. Speaking of which, the dog is asleep on the floor. But yeah, I woke up, showered. So my hair looks all like this. It's all nice and fuzzy right now. I don't got curly hair, but man, trust me, I'm fucking trying. Got Georgian on the phone. Grandma got run over by a reindeer. Hit my balls on Christmas Eve. Yeah, now I know for, not necessarily for a fact, but just more like for certain, there's no fucking way that anyone is awake right now watching the newest AKA laxative stream. And I'm thinking it's weird because the whole thing and the whole reason why I started streaming was because video making was getting kind of exhausting, but now in a weird way streaming is getting kind of exhausting. I don't know if it's like a type of burnout or what, but it's like I go and stream and it's like, okay, it's fun, but even yesterday it's like I realized it's like I would rather just record some short 20-minute video like Borderlands, right? Just highlighting whatever it was I did. If I have friends on call, highlight whatever wacky jokes we made, and then just kind of hop off, you know? I don't know, man. Maybe that's just part of growing up, but... And as for all these, I'm gonna have this same sort of like slot. The reason why I have that slot is because that slot is what's keeping all of these open right now. Alright, so all this is going to be left open. Because what I want to do is I'm gonna keep all these open, and then I'm going to start sliding the cannons through, but what I need to do is I need to get the flooring down, and that's why I've decided to do this third part here, is because the floor is going to be Star Wars SC-38 reimagined. I have no idea what that is. I imagine it's just the battle between Obi-Wan and Vader. Okay, whatever. But yeah, so the whole point of this part and the reason why I'm making it is because I wanted to sort of highlight just the final details that I was going to do on the ship. Yeah, so we have sails here, the rigging and stuff, which rigging is basically done, except there's a couple more key areas that I wanted to focus on. Like up here needs a little bit more. I just wanted to have something kind of simple. Yeah, so after we hopefully finish Kenobi today, I was talking to her and I was like, hey, what do you want to watch next? She was like, oh, well, I want to watch Jujutsu Kaisen because I told her I was watching Jujutsu Kaisen. So we gonna watch Jujutsu Kaisen, bro. It's gonna be fucking crazy. I am so fucking stoked. You know what's weird, right? And don't get me wrong. Like, what kind of like bombazzles me is like, I know I'm not the most like attractive person, but I don't know why it's like absolutely fucking hornswoggles my friends. Like when I first told my friends, like my buddy Tajman actually was like one of the first people that I told that I had an SO. Like outside of Sam, who was already like there. But I'm just like, I don't know why everyone gets positively hornswaggled. Like, I know I'm ugly, but I'm not that fucking ugly. She is great. Me, yeah, not so much. So here's what I'm gonna do. So I'm gonna have this. We're gonna have this. We're gonna have this. We're gonna have this. 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 Okay. So yeah, like I said, I want to have all these rigging patterns set up, and the bitch of it is that when I do go and mainly right around, I think here is where I kind of want to start it, but I need to have it kind of under the railing. So I'm kind of in a weird spot where it's like, how do I want to set this up in terms of the rigging? Because there needs to be. So I think what I can do is to start off, I can do a little bit of preliminary work. And despite the fact that this is one of the best looking parts, of any sailing ship build. It's also the part I hate the most. Mainly just for 2 reasons. One, how time consuming it is. And also it's just not really that fun to me. And fences are kind of hard to work with, so it's like I have to fight around them, and it's just kind of like, eh. At that point, you're like, alright, that's kind of annoying. But yeah, like, I'm not gonna lie, a part of me is like, cause I'm doing all these streams, and don't get me wrong, it's fun. But in the same respect, I'm slowly starting to get back to that point in the year, especially with school and stuff coming back up, you know, because that's going to be a bitch. But I'm getting at that point where it's like, if I'm going to make videos, and this is sort of like a little side project more than anything, I know I'm not making any money from this. That's why, like, if I ever have to stop alive, it's inconsequential. Yeah, sure, it sucks if there's people watching, you know, it's like they lose access to the stream. It's like, okay, that sucks. We'll get them next time. But then it's like, not really all that worried about it, but then it's like, whoa, buddy, you know, like if I go and I have, it's like tens of thousands of subs and they're like, you know, the stream's fucking wildin'. At that point, yeah, no, you know, like, I can't stop it. I don't know, it's weird. I'm hornswaggle just talking about it. You know what Netflix is king of like removing shows that made their platform great and kind of bitching out to serve other platforms, at least as of right now. And I'm telling you, man, there's so many shows that I miss. Like Next Generation, I know it's on Hulu and I know it's on Paramount Plus, but I really don't want to go and sit through all the ads. I don't pay for the Hulu. One day I will pay for the Hulu, but even for now, I don't want to sit through all the ads. I know there's an ad-free thing that's like $15 a month, I think, but I'm just like, I don't know, man. Huru kind of mid sometimes, but most of the times it's pretty fucking cool. Okay, so yeah, then there's this. So yeah, then we have this. Okay, so I'm thinking it's weird. I don't want to extend it out more, but it's kind of one of those, it's gonna look weird if I don't. Yeah, like that right there. Even bringing it out by just one little slab. I'll be honest, in creating this entire build, for all of those that have actually stuck around and watched, like all 3 parts, and don't get me wrong, I know that 3.5 hour stream that I did the other day was, one, holy shit, that was 3.5 hours, and 2, I know I was kind of gone for most of it, and I have a good explanation as to why. One, mainly pertaining to the fact that I wasn't feeling well, and that I went to the bathroom and kind of, well, let's say my guts straight expanded, contracted, prolapsed it all over the floor, alright? Like, it was not literally all over the floor, but just point being, I went in there, and it's weird, I used to slam caramel frappes, right? And I know that sounds incredibly stupid right off the bat. That, nobody admits to drinking caramel frappes, unless you admit to drinking caramel frappes. If you like coffee and coffee's your thing, cool. Caffeine, anything like that. Thing is, during the school year, especially when I used to work at McDonald's, when I used to be like really swamped with schoolwork, I would go and I would slam those things like there was no tomorrow. And there were days where I wouldn't wake up tomorrow. Like one time, I remember being woken up and they were like, why the hell are you still asleep? Like my parents were like, why the hell are you still asleep? They're like, you got work in 20 minutes. I'm like, what do you mean? I'm like, I just went to bed. They're like, you've been asleep 14 hours. It's like 14 to 17 hours. The longest I've ever been asleep, like uninterrupted, was 20 something hours. And the longest I've ever stayed awake was, I believe, close to 57 hours. That was over quarantine, by the way. Which, honestly, I feel like in this day and age, in this generation, if you say that you did something, like, absurd, like, for example, staying up 57 hours straight, and anyone goes, why did you do it? And you go, quarantine? I mean, come on, they're going to understand your answer right away. So I'm going to extend this out, even though it really doesn't have to be. You know what I realized, right? So, in Star Wars Episode 5, right at the end of the movie, and Family Guy actually makes a joke about this, but when they're going and when they're taking off in the Falcon, this is like right at the end, like when they're on the medical frigate, and, you know, Luke is standing there with Leia, R2, C3PO, and all that, and Lando's going off to look for Han Solo. Why is he wearing Han's clothes? Like, he's wearing Han's vest and everything. Or Han. I will still never fully understand why. And I still to this day love the look on Han's face when the woman that he's in love with tells him that the dude she mouth-fucked in the last movie is actually her brother. George Lucas, what the hell? And going through a bit of a theory here. Okay, so it's been confirmed, at least by Disney standards, and Disney is not so Disney after this, I'll tell you what. So it was confirmed in episode 9 that Rey was descended from Palpatine. And Rey is technically a Palpatine, but she's too much of a bitch to own up to her bloodline. So, you know, that's when she pulls the whole Rey Skywalker thing. Point being, Rey's mom, or no, it was Palpatine impregnated somebody to, Palpatine impregnated somebody to create Rey's mom and dad. Or just impregnated Rey's mom. Honestly, I don't really fully remember. I want to say he impregnated Rey's mom. Or, no, is it? No, because Rey had, like, normal parents. So he impregnated somebody, made her parents. I don't know. Point being, he was involved in her creation using the Force. And Kylo Ren is a descendant of Leia. Leia and Han Solo. Leia coming from Luke's family, so that Leia is technically a Skywalker. But keeps the Organa name for some reason. But yeah, this is where the theory gets kind of fucked up. So obviously, Anakin is... And he was basically groomed for the whole Darth Vader role for a long-ass time. Practically since birth. But yeah, so anyways, Anakin's mom, right? Shmi Skywalker was impregnated by Palpatine, again, through the Force, whole, Virgin Mary style. And she went and she was impregnated, and she was to give birth to Anakin. But the thing is, since she didn't rail anybody, and Palpatine put the baby inside of her, that means that Palpatine is Anakin's grandfather. Fuck, no. Palpatine is Anakin's father. Because they never say who Anakin's father is. They say Luke's father is, no, I am your father. But, yeah, no, then we got... But see, now look at this though. So if we go and we look at the rigging, now don't get me wrong, it's not the best. But the thing is with this is it's not meant to be functional, it's meant to look pretty. And if it looks pretty, well then you've got half the job done. Ah, yes. So now comes the fun part, where we get to decide, one, where this goes, and also how to fix this. But yeah, no. So, anyways, like I was saying before, so it was confirmed either in Legends, canon, whatever. But I'm considering Legends as canon because the Disney movies to me are not real. And so we have Anakin's mom, Legends or otherwise, was impregnated by Palpatine to give birth to, Anakin. So that means that Palpatine, again, Legends or not, because to me, Legends is more canon and more interesting than what we got. Fucking Disney canon had a boy, alright? Like, what? Okay. So yeah, that means that since Anakin gave birth to Luke and Leia through means of Padme and not by himself, because, how would that even be fucking possible? So yeah, so that means point that I'm getting at is since Rey is a descendant of Palpatine, either daughter, granddaughter, whatever, probably granddaughter, and then you have Kylo Ren, who's like, point is Kylo and Rey are distant cousins. The distance is fairly large, but still not enough to warrant, the Alabama treatment. And that just makes that kiss at the end of that movie so weird, because Disney very obviously did not think through. First of all, Rey and Kylo Ren kept dying back and forth. Like, Rey stabs Kylo, then she heals Kylo. She goes and she feels really sad about it. And instead of leaving the very obvious enemy threat, to die, here, you need a med kit? Like, bro, what? Come on. That is stupid. Remember, kids, it's not meant to be functional. It's meant to look cute. Yeah, so while there are improvements that could be made, but yeah, that's the bitch of it though, is, okay, I'm gonna do me a little bit of this, a little bit of that. Okay, so anyways, but yeah, no, that would mean that, or even like the whole thing, I thought that because the whole scene where the Star Destroyer crashes past Bespin, Bespin is apparently larger than a Resurgence class. I thought that it was the other way around, and that Resurgence were larger, but no. Apparently Bespin is larger. So that tiny ass little scale Star Destroyer, that's apparently wrong. And it should be a lot smaller. And the Zeiston, yeah, the Zeiston are cool and all, but it's like, they're kind of pointless. You would think that in all of that time that they were given between movies, they would improve on at least the whole ISD concept. Because it's not a bad destroyer, it's just they didn't know what the hell they were. My girlfriend and I sat through about 47, it was either 42 to 47, it was 42 minutes of The Force Awakens, right? And I even told her before going into it, because we've been marathoning Star Wars like crazy lately, I told her before going into it, I said, listen, writing on this is kind of shaky, and for the next couple movies, it's again, kind of shaky, so I'm like, are you sure you want to watch this? And she is like, yeah, I want to see it. Because we watched 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We watched, haven't watched The Mandalorian yet. We're working on watching Kenobi. And overall, this is kind of like a slowly but surely we're getting there type thing. And oh boy, are we getting there. Like, Kenobi gets so good. It's easily one of my favorite Star Wars shows. I say one of because The Mandalorian is still really holding a special place right now. But, yeah, I'm like, it's fine, it's good, we chillin'. I had a piece of fucking, what was that, like, Fruity Puffs? Fruity Pebbles? I did eat Fruity Pebbles for breakfast. You know, if there's one thing that I won't miss, or that I don't miss, I should say. So in New York, right, we had this neighbor named Tony, and Tony himself was a very nice guy. Loved hanging around him. He was very interested in our family, just very nice, very attentive. Him and Tyler and Bree, they're very nice people. Well, thing is, Tony had one major shortcoming, at least in our eyes, and that was he was the type of person to be up at God's early hours in the morning mowing his fucking lawn. Saturday, Tuesday, Monday, didn't matter what fucking day of the week it was. Bro was up and he was mowing, okay? Like, mowing like it was going out of style. And I used to mow the lawn up when we used to still live in New York. And the thing is like, even now, I'm really glad that I don't have to mow the lawn for Florida and that we live in a place where they'll go and they'll do that. Or, like, they'll do all that shit for you. But the thing is, though, what was I about to say? Oh, yeah, no, but I'm like, it was hot doing it up in New York, and we had, like, a really bad wasp problem in our backyard. And I'm not gonna lie, when it comes to wasps, I am deathly afraid of them. I cannot stand them. I hate them. And they can go crash and burn and die horribly. But yeah, no, we used to have really bad wasps. But yeah, no, we got through. I realize I'm bouncing between points here, I'm sorry. But, yeah, no, we went and watched 42 minutes of The Force Awakens. It took 42 minutes for some, and here's the thing, is I feel like I did the smart thing. I took her through all the prequels first. She completely missed what midichlorians were, or at least like that explanation. I'm like, thank God. Because midichlorians are the stupidest thing ever. It's the force, it's natural. It's like gravity. It's literally having the power to manipulate shit like gravity. I'm like, why bother going into such great effort to explain things like the cosmic force, the living force, all stuff like that, if you're just going to say, oh, well, because then that also opens up the possible... Nope. God damn, Diesel. That also opens up the possibility that anyone could be a force user. Because they're like, oh, well, everyone has midichlorians in their bloodstream. Midichlorians help to influence the force. I'm like, okay, in some level, yes, they're canon. And it would make sense as to how they're used, especially if they're used to create life, which would then, again, segue into how Palpatine was able to basically, like, remote bang Anakin's mom. I'm like, that's a whole other can of worms, but still, it would make sense. And this is also the same universe where, you know, people got fucking laser swords and shit. And there's, you know, like, cult wars going on. I'm like, I really think that a lot of the stuff should probably not be in question. General Hux is Space Hitler. But that's the thing, is I feel like I did the smart thing. I took her through all the prequels first. She did not catch on to what midichlorians were, so that's good. I was able to keep her on the whole track of, oh, well, the Force is a natural thing. It's not something that's, you know, like, oh, midichlorians. What was... I was gonna say, because I wanted to have some scaffolding, like, around here, and then I was gonna put platforms around it. I keep saying platforms, I mean trapdoors. Although, actually, what I do need, though, is dark oak, because normally I like to use spruce, but this has the whole... Yeah, that has the whole, like, 4 corners thing I need on it. Then we have this. Let's see, I'm gonna go flower pot here. We're gonna have a lantern there. And then we're gonna have... I like to use heavy pressure plates as sort of like a piece of paper. Basically, I'm trying to make it seem like there's a map and a table and everything here. So then right about, I want to say it was right about here is where the wheel was. And then you have... I'm not sure exactly how you make... So basically, before I go and I start moving on to the bottom, this is all like those like small little convenience, quality of life type things. So making it look like a wheel. So now if I take an item frame, this is really cool. So if you take an item frame, take some cobwebs, and then now, you know, keep in mind, this is very loose interpretation, but oh shit. Say, now it kind of looks like a wheel. So that right there, so that's going to be the wheel. So basically the back section, although I want to change the glass on there. Tinted, not black. Because tinted has this weird like purple hue to it. I don't want that. Imagine if they made like glass slabs. That'd be kind of cool. So yeah, they're going to have that around there. So actually there is supposed to be, so there's that structure right there. I was going to try and fit a bell in there, but I don't really know if I can. Okay, so then we're gonna have the things here. have all the cannons here. And I just want to say, in no way is this a tutorial. This is more just kind of a... the fuck? This is just kind of more of a... if you want to see how I build the ships, because I've built a couple of pearls now. I think in my entire time of playing this game, when I've actually like started taking building more seriously in the last 2 years, so yeah, like when I started taking building more seriously in the last 2 years, I mean, don't get me wrong, I still do it for fun, but it's just doing it something like this, you know, like where I'm like either trying to like actually, you know, like fucking practice something, or, you know, like show like a certain technique or something like that. But yeah, this video here, I'm just gonna say right now, it's not meant to be a tutorial. It's not meant... now, like, if you want to try to follow it, by all means, you can. You will... this is more to the point, or like, well, like more to the point. This is one of those, like, you can try. Just don't get mad if you can't follow along with what I'm doing. Now, I'm not saying that to be rude. I'm saying that as kind of a warning, if anything. And like I said, I did try and make a tutorial for one of these a while back. I even was on the phone with my girlfriend last night. I mean, I'm still on the phone with her now, but like when we were actually like talking, and she pulled up some of my videos online because I said they were on Google. And she's like, how many times did you build this damn ship? I've only ever built it twice. One was the Lord Darker variant. That was the one I followed a tutorial for. And the other one was a speed build of a larger variant. This variant right here, actually, but this is like way more detailed, way more done up than that other one was. Yes, that other one was not as done up as this one right here. I kind of want to... I've never tried the spectator mode. Oh, that's what that... okay. That would be nice to actually like fly, like do flybys of the ship and not have to worry about okay, yeah, that would be nice to do flybys and not have to worry about, you know, all the blocks and shit in the way. Okay, that's actually really cool. But yeah, no, okay, so then next step. So here's what I want to do next. So, well, one, I'm going to throw some light blocks down here in a minute. But I think to start, I just want to get the preliminary flooring in here. And then get... I'm like, now let's play the fun game of see what I can get away with destroying. Like, turns out, not that much. But yeah, if y'all wondering why I used mud, by the way, that wasn't really for any too deep of a specific reason. The main reason really falls down to this, and that's I say this and then proceed to not explain. Okay, so in the movies you'll notice that the ship is like sort of this blackish brown. It's not a perfect black. It's a charred black. There's little bits of brown, little bits of black, gray. It's mainly gray, like a grayish black. But the main thing that you notice with the paint job is that there's also still a lot of brown. And it's more sprinkled throughout when you look closely at certain scenes. But that's because it's not entire... Okay. See, it's not all one color. And I wanted a block that, at least like as of 1.19, would be able to exemplify that. So I started using this mud block, which you see it kind of has like a little bit of like a brownish, and then it has a little bit of that gray and a little bit of like a, you know, like light and darkish purple. It has like a very specific color scheme to it. Granted, it's not perfect. It's not going to be perfect, never was perfect. And I actually did want to tour that for a video. There's a couple of mashup worlds that I bought. Like, I bought the one for Pirates, I bought the one for Halo, and I bought the one for Star Wars. And I was thinking about touring through those for a live stream. Maybe do one for Star Wars, get all the boys on the Star Wars one, then get all the boys on the Pirates one. And, you know, just have everyone just be chilling. Yeah, so basically all I'm going to do... Honestly, I don't think I'm going to worry about the floor underneath this. I'm still going to style up this floor. I'm still going to add another little cargo hold, stairs. Everything's going to be done. It's just that this little, like... Because all that's under that spot is, like, cargo hold. And for purposes of the stream, and also because I'm really starting to get tired. Like, I shit you not. This is hitting like a train now. There's this weird warbling sound in my headphones. I don't know if y'all can hear that, but I can hear that. Something fierce. And yeah, if you're wondering, I am doing this on Minecraft Java. Because I noticed my buddy Oranging left a little comment on one of my videos. He was like, oh, it's a shame you don't have World Edit. It's a shame you're getting bitches. That's what I thought. So yeah, I've given it some thought. Well, for one, I can finally get rid of these damn placeholders. See, put that in there. And I believe down below there is actually a secondary capstan. All ships had one, maybe two. And this right here, the cargo hold basically went all the way down to the bottom of the ship. And it was supported with like these pillars, which I'm gonna have to remember to put those in. I'm actually just gonna use stone block and slab. So see, watch, like something like this, right? Like that's all stone block, but I'm just gonna have like that one slab there. Maybe that, actually no, more like that one block. I don't know why you can't put different kinds of slabs on top of other slabs. Maybe that's just not... It's not the slab way. Unlimited power! I'm like, this might seem weird, but what if I shift this over by 1? Just so that these can more than eerily conveniently cover that oopsie that I just made. Yeah, so worst case, it's tied off. Actually, no, we could just say this. Or even if I do, okay, so yeah, I was thinking if we do a conjunction of birch, because I realized that looks kind of ugly. See, like if I do something like that, see, it's not as bad. Bro, the classic Minecraft music. I'm telling you, I'm talking like the old tracks, like the ones you would hear on Xbox 360 and Xbox One, you know, older Java. It's weird. I've never said anything bad about the Minecraft music before, but they've been releasing these new tracks lately, and I am incredibly disappointed. And I do not use auto jump. Nah. Like, I don't think I've ever been disappointed in a Minecraft soundtrack. Until nowadays, at least. Like, at least with the new ones. Like, something like this. I want to say this is Hagstrom. Hagstrom, Mice on Venus. I don't know. I really wish I knew. Can't even do that. Okay. Oh yeah, I'll grind on that stone, alright. God damn. So there's this, right? So all these down here, these are going to be the cannons. See if I do buttons. It's weird. I want to go and I want to play through Xbox One Edition. Because, like, that version's been dead since, like, 2018, I believe. 18 or 19. I want to say 18 now. It's just dead. Let's see, what if I do? Okay, so that's going, like, more up into the back of the ship. Okay, so even if I go, and let's say we do, like, one up here, here, so one above, like, each of these. Honestly, though, I'm not even gonna lie. I feel like I'm about to drop. I might stop and come back to this later. Fun fact, for the Mandalorian season finale, Disney didn't have enough stormtrooper costumes, so what they ended up doing is going to like 3D modeling companies and mainly cosplay legions like the 501st, who make film accurate, like it's basically like a group of people who make film accurate props, armor, you know, like just a whole bunch of shit. And a bunch of them had like apparently TV ready, you know, replica armor just laying around. So they allowed people to show up on set with their armor because they didn't have enough of their own stormtrooper costumes, and I'm like, that is fucking cool. So you just have a bunch of random people showing up on set with like their own costumes and stuff. I mean, yeah, sure, you know, Disney couldn't provide, they didn't have enough of their own. It's like half of those stormtroopers that you see in that crowd are just fucking extras. And because it's Disney, I mean, ideally I hope they paid them handsomely, but probably not. Yeah, so basically from the outside, and I'm gonna go back to the inside in a sec. From the outside, this is what we got so far. All the rigging is done. I understand that the front castle, or forecastle, needs to be done. The sails are complete. Rigging is done. Everything is good. Back captain's cabin needs to be decorated. Now, in terms of the actual main deck, stairs are completed. The reason why I have it such a bright shade of birch is mainly just to provide a sense of contrast, because I understand that it's called the Black Pearl. I understand everything is black, but in Minecraft that looks terrible, and I wanted to have some sort of like change, I guess. So I just went and I just painted it birch. Not painted it birch, but I used birch to give it some sort of detail, so it's not monochromatic. So we got the sails, we got everything else done. So I think I'm gonna come back to that little bottom area there in a sec. I'm gonna work on the forecastle for a bit, so if I do. See, so that's what I was trying to do for the front there, is have that sort of thing there. So I'm gonna go and I'm gonna cover this front section up completely. So see, we have that. Yes, then we're gonna have those there. So that's gonna be leading up to the front of the ship. So if you want to get to the forecastle, you literally just run up front. Doors are up here. Front of the ship is all up here. All of yours. What I do want to do though is I do want to grab some prismarine. Assuming I remember how to do this. I know this looks nothing like the actual figurehead, but honestly, I'm just kind of rolling at this point. Earn the achievement, Spooky Scary Skeleton. Oh, I'm just gonna put a lily pad there. So yeah, that's my little figurehead there. I don't know, it's weird. From this side, honestly, that shit kind of looks like Dee Dee from Rugrats. So I'm gonna go and put that back. That's probably about as good as it's gonna get for now. Unless there's any other like build suggestions or build ideas. So like exterior wise, it's done. It's just the interior. But I think for now, I know this has kind of been a bit of a shorter stream, but I need to take a break. I feel like I'm gonna drop.